Hello guys, before starting deep learning, we will see some few topics in machine learning, right? So first, we will talk about what is machine learning. So what is machine learning? In simple words, we can say machine learning is about making prediction. So whenever we want to make a prediction, we can use machine learning concept, right? So here data can be in any format. In machine learning, data can be in any format. It could be text, or it could be image, right? Or it could be a video, right? So whenever we have a problem, right, in which we want to make a prediction on unseen data, or we can say future data, in that case we have to use machine learning. So we can say machine learning, simple words, just uh, making prediction, making prediction. So whenever we want to use machine learning, right, in that case, it means we are going to make prediction. So in simple term, we can say machine learning is about making prediction on unseen data, or we can say future data. Right. If we talk about some examples, then we can say, suppose we have some data for a patient, right? And we want to make prediction that patient uh, has a cancer or not, right? Or we can say patient has a diabetes or not, right? So here we are going to make a prediction, right? uh, Either patient has a diabetes or not, or we can say, if we want to make a prediction on sales, suppose, right? If we want to suppose uh, there is a X company, right? And we want to make a prediction for this company, sales prediction. Suppose we want to make a sales prediction for the year, suppose 2020, right? So there is a X company, and we want to make a prediction, right, for the sales for the year 2020. In that case, where we can use a machine learning, right? Similarly, suppose we have a review, right? We have a uh, review for a suppose restaurant, right? If I say I would like, yeah, uh, this hotel, this hotel is good, right? So if I pass any review for a restaurant and I want to make a prediction, I want to make a prediction, this review is negative or positive, right? So I want to make a prediction, this review is a positive or negative, right? In that case we can use a machine learning, right? Because here we are trying to make a prediction, but in that case we have a data in text format, right? If we talk about sales data, we have sales data in numeric form. We have sales data in numeric form, right? But in that case, we have a data in text format. We have data in text format, right? So data can be in any format. So suppose we have an image. If I show some image, suppose we have some cat images. Okay. We have some cat images, right? And we want to make a prediction, right? This image is belong to a cat or not, right? So this is a part of machine learning. So here we can say we are trying to make a image classification, right? So this is also a part of machine learning. So we can say in machine learning, the data can be any format. It could be numeric data, it could be text, image, audio, video, right?
So guys, one question may come to your mind that why do we need machine learning? Why can't this be done by normal programming itself? Why do we need special kind of techniques which are called machine learning techniques? And we are forced to learn this course kind of thing. Why? One of the problem is that if we see that, simple problem like, identification of a cat. Okay, let's have a quick discussion now. How do you ensure that the image is of a cat? Can you describe a cat? Anybody? How would you make a rule in programming that this is a cat or not a cat? See, typically you will find making, yeah, Aditya. Anybody wants to have a go? Describe a cat so that it can be identified using a program? Traditional program?
How can we define a feature for a cat?
See, as you notice, we run into a big problem with this one. We may say a cat has whiskers, but then lion has whiskers. Maybe seals have whiskers, walrus has whiskers. We may say a cat has 4 legs and whiskers, but then there are so many animals, including dog. And in fact, the problem is many dogs may look like cats, at least in images. And therefore, we run into this problem where if we were to try to define rules for, using traditional coding, using if then else, then that if then else will become huge. And even then it will do a poor job at identifying a cat versus, all other animals. So the problem is that traditional programming used to work, till the problems were related to logic, pure logic. Where you could say if this number is greater than 5 or less than 10, till that time it was okay. But in recent times, where you need things like face recognition, where you have things like Siri, voice identification, and you have image classification, all these kind of things, then you have a problem. You have robots which can walk, you have robots which can talk now. To have those kind of technologies, traditional programming cannot work anymore. There is a new way of thinking required now, new way of programming required, and that way is AI or ML or deep learning. So all these problems are solved using various techniques. All these techniques are grouped together into a big bucket called artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence means that anything to do with intelligence which is done by a machine. For example, machine talks to me, machine chats with me. So any of these behaviors are intelligent behavior and they all go under the category of AI. Within AI, there are some categories, some algorithms that I can use, some specific algorithms. People have done research and found them. If I use those traditional, within the realm of AI mechanisms, some mathematics, etc., then those are called machine learning. So this is a special technique in AI called ML, machine learning, which allows a machine to learn things and do things. For example, stuff like, predicting the sales. So there may be thousands of data points, and using those data points, it will be difficult for humans to know what the sale is likely to be, with a certain degree of accuracy. Machines can crunch that data very fast, so they can produce some result. Maybe even using Excel, you can do some stuff like that. Okay? So that is machine learning. But there are even greater things like deep learning, where even traditional machine learning algorithms are not enough. For example, you are looking at something which is absolutely brand new. Nobody has ever seen it before. For example, you are driving a car. The moment you start driving a car, the scenery which is presented to you is absolutely new. Seasons change, the winds change, weather changes, there may be new animal, some grass may be cut, etc. So the scene which is presented to the car, it has never encountered that scene ever before. And in fact, the moment it starts moving, the continuous scenes that it gets, it has never seen before. So it needs to continuously assess this new data and take a call. Identify objects, avoid hitting them, etc., etc. So so even machine learning algorithms don't work there. So there we use a black box approach called deep learning. So deep learning works on the brain pattern, so like our brain works, like our neurons work, it works like that, and it learns based on this data. So more data you feed, the better it gets. So that is the concept of deep learning. So in this course now, the way it is structured now, you will end up doing all three. So we will cover, our objective is to reach deep learning, which is the third level. In order to get to third level, we'll have to cross level 2, which is machine learning. So we will cover enough machine learning to get you inputs into deep learning. And to cover machine learning, we have to begin with artificial intelligence. That is what we are talking right now. Okay. For some of you, it may be a refresher, of some stuff that you have done. For others, it will be a good grounding. So right now, the way it is structured in this course, you don't really need, anything. You don't need, any math. You don't need any algebra. You don't need any machine learning also. You don't even need SciPy, as we told yesterday. We will all teach that here to get you comfortable with deep learning. So over to you, Dinesh.
Okay, sir. So guys, simply we can say machine learning is about to making a prediction on unseen or future data, right? So there are lot of fields where we can use the machine learning, right? Lot of fields where we can use the machine learning. For example, web search, right? If you do a web search, like suppose if you do a web search, suppose if I search something, Python training in Delhi, Python training Delhi, right? So here guys, you are seeing the suggestion here, right? So these suggestions are coming from the predictions, right? These suggestions are coming from the prediction, right? So Google use the machine learning in Google search, right? So whenever we try to search something, right? So we get the suggestions here, right? And these suggestions come from the prediction.
See guys, another thing happens here. Why is machine learning, deep learning, AI making so much news these days? Why is it become such a hot topic? And everybody keeps on talking about it. There are new inventions, new things which keep on coming all the time. So why is it so hot? Why is it so important? Some people say that it is so revolutionary that the traditional way, the traditional jobs will probably all go and they will be replaced by machine learning jobs only. That is what some people say. We disagree. We think there is a enough demand for both areas, traditional versus machine learning jobs, both will be there. But some people like to predict that in tomorrow's world, all jobs will be machine learning kind of jobs or AI kind of jobs. Okay, why? So imagine a company like Google. Why is Google able to stay ahead of Microsoft? Microsoft also has a search engine. It has a search engine called Bing. But Google has something like 97% market share and Bing only has 3%. But in the desktop market, Microsoft Office has probably 60%, 70% market share. Google has 0. So looking at that, why is Microsoft with its billions of dollars not able to compete with Google? The answer is machine learning. Google was actually able to get into machine learning much ahead of any other company in the world. So what they did, they started crawling the web, collecting all the data, and they started training their machine learning algorithms very early. So in the last 10, 15, 20 years, they have built this massive data set, which is very accurate now. So machine learning, because it uses machine data, data is its input. Data is the new fuel, as they say. It uses data. So the more data it gets, the more accurate it has tendency to become. So over a period of time, Google has become so accurate now that any other company in the world cannot compete with it. Whether it is Microsoft, they have billions of dollars, that's fine. But where will they get so much data from? What people are searching for? When they search, which link do they click first? Which link do they click second? Maybe they scroll down and then find the relevant link and click on that. So that link is actually more relevant to the search. So this kind of data they have collected over the last so many years, and they use that to make their product better and better. So Microsoft cannot even try to catch up with them. They keep on trying because they need a product in this area, but they have hardly any market share. Most of you use Google straight away. In fact, Googling has become the search term. You don't say, search on the internet, you say Google it. It has become part of our normal language now. Over to you.
Okay. So guys, we can see there are a lot of fields where we can use the machine learning, right? One more example we can see here, Google Translate, right? Google Translate is also example for machine learning, right? Suppose if I select suppose English, and I want to translate in Punjabi, right? So if I write here hello, right? So we can see we can write the hello in Punjabi like this, right? So this is a part of machine learning also, right? So Google use machine learning to translate the language, right? So this is also example for machine learning, right? So here we can see we have lot of option to translate a language, right? So this is example for machine learning. Okay. Others we can see we have recommendation engine, right? So whenever you go for online shopping, right, and you will get some recommendation, right? So this recommendation is also example for machine learning, right? So whenever you are suppose if you want to buy a Python book, right, and you go on a Amazon, right, so there you will get lot of recommendation.
Let's do that right now.
Okay,
Let's go to Amazon.
if you do search some Python book, Amazon, right? So here you will get lot of options, right? So this is recommendation,
So click on one of them.
right? If suppose if I click on this one also, so here you can see customer who read this will also read, right? So this is a part of machine learning also.
So guys, what has also happened to Google has also happened to Amazon. See, Amazon is just a site with a lot of books, and they're not even cheap now. But still, when people talk about books, they talk about Amazon. Okay, in India, we talk about Flipkart sometimes, but typically when anybody talks about books, they talk about Amazon. There are competing companies like Barnes and Nobles or Kobo, but hardly anybody knows about them. So books means Amazon. And why do people go to Amazon? Because of two things. Number one, the rating, star rating. So if you want to decide which is a good book, one way to look at it is the rating it has received on Amazon. So people trust that rating. Now, there may be a new company which comes along tomorrow and says that I will offer these books, cheaper, maybe 10 rupees cheaper than Amazon. So they go to Amazon site, get a database of their books and put it on their site, reduce all prices by 10 rupees. But it is very difficult that they will be able to sell. Why? Because Amazon also has detailed review from customers. Can we go back to that site, please? Vineet? Yeah.
Okay.
Go scroll down a little bit. So that company may be able to copy most of this stuff, but this recommendation engine, number one. So these books are very relevant and they are all 4-star ratings. So these are books, that Amazon is recommending that, based on my history of 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of data, I know that when people buy this book, they end up buying these books also. So they are equally good as compared to that number one. Go down a little bit more. Yeah,
We
a
can
little bit
see
more, please. Yeah, little bit
here
more. Yeah. The
reviews.
second part is the customer reviews. So these are very, very difficult to replicate. And Amazon is honest enough to include both 1-star and 5-star ratings, so people trust them. And therefore, based on this trust, they are able to make these reviews and their star rating stand out. So other companies find it very, very difficult to come and compete with them. So how does this recommendation engine work? If recommendation engine is their core competitive advantage, then it makes sense for them to invest money in this area. Invest money in reviews. Make sure people give reviews and make sure people, the recommendation engine is very good. So when people buy one book, they don't just buy one book, they end up buying 2, 3, maybe even 4 books. So that is why Amazon also runs competition regularly, where they make some of their algorithm and say, our recommendation is this much. If you can beat us, we'll give you money. So they give competition like that one. And the idea is very simple. If somebody writes a better algorithm, better recommendation engine, then they stand to make tons of money. And what will that recommendation engine be written in? Again, the same problem. There are thousands and thousands of categories, and there are millions of books now. So it is impossible to use traditional coding, if then else kind of logic. You need machine learning algorithm. And therefore, Amazon spends a lot of money, a lot of resources in making sure their recommendation engine using machine learning techniques is very, very well. Over to you.
Okay. So guys, you can. Okay. So guys, you can see on the basis of this text, we can also make the prediction for the star rating. On the basis of this content, on the basis of this text, we can also make the prediction for the star rating. Right. So here we can also use the machine learning to make the prediction for the star rating also. Right. So similarly, we can see the other examples like movie recommendation on Netflix. Right. So movie recommendation on Netflix is also example for machine learning. Right. So on the basis of on the basis of customer searching, right? So Netflix can make the prediction for the movie, right? For a particular customer, right? So movie recommendation is also a part of machine learning.
So you see, there is a pattern now. All these companies that we are talking about, they are not just using machine learning for machine learning's sake. They are using machine learning to make tons of money. So that is why some people say that tomorrow's world will no longer belong to traditional coding companies. It will belong to these companies which are able to make algorithms which make good recommendations. So if somebody makes a company tomorrow which beats Netflix in the recommendation it makes, suppose it is literally able to read your mind and make a recommendation based on that not just based on movie, but maybe the time of the day, maybe the season, maybe the time of the year, etc. Based on that, it is able to predict your mood and therefore recommend you a movie. And such a recommendation engine is likely to be a big hit, and that company can beat Netflix, very, very quickly. So that is why, a lot of companies are investing time and effort in making their machine learning algorithms better. And it is almost like an arms race, in that sense. Whoever writes better algorithms, whoever does better algo, manipulation, whoever is able to predict results better is likely to generate more money and is likely to be more successful now. Over to you.
Okay. So guys, we can see we have lot of fields where we can use the machine learning. Right. Suppose here we have medical diagnosis. Right. In that case, we can also use the machine learning. Right. We have text and speech recognition. Right. If you see in Apple Mobile.
So here again, in medical diagnosis, a lot of doctors are trying to assess the damage that COVID has done. And many times it is difficult to reach out to large number of people. There are so many people now infected with COVID, especially in US. There are not enough doctors to analyze. And if doctors get too near, sometimes they get infected. So is there a way to do medical diagnosis of COVID using machine learning algorithms? So people found one way. They found X-rays. If they take X-ray of people with COVID who have been infected badly and people who are normal, they found that there are some crystal kind of patterns in the lungs. But these patterns vary. So they fed these millions of images to a machine learning algorithm, and that algorithm, somebody sat and classified, oh, this guy has COVID, this guy doesn't have COVID, has COVID, doesn't have COVID, etc. So machine learned eventually that this is the kind of pattern that you're looking for. And therefore, based on that, it decided, so we feed it a new image, something which it has not seen before. It is able to classify that, yes, this guy has COVID, or this guy doesn't have COVID. So doctor may take a final call, but the first cut diagnosis can be done by machines themselves. And because machines can be very fast, depending on how much money you put in making them, so you can have machines which can process thousands of these images, per hour, much more than what a doctor can handle. And therefore, the first cut diagnosis of COVID can actually be done using machines. Over to you.
Okay. So guys, in text and speech recognition, right, we can also use the machine learning. Right. So if you're using the Apple mobile, here we can say we have Siri. I see. Siri. Okay. So Siri speech recognition is also example for machine learning. Right. So we can use the machine learning for the text and the voice data also.
So what is happening behind the scene is, suppose I am running Siri on my iPhone, then few people realize how powerful that technology is. My voice is nothing but sound. Sound is nothing but airwaves are moving in a certain way. Siri is, so, my iPhone is able to detect that, capture that sound, and send that data onto the cloud. Onto the cloud, it figures out what I said with a certain level of probability. And then it understands the context that I am talking. And then it is able to formulate a response and send that response back. So if Siri, if I tell Siri, set alarm for 10 a.m. tomorrow, so it needs to figure out, what do I mean by 10 a.m.? What does alarm mean? And it is able to set the alarm. People just use it, directly. They don't realize how much complex algorithms are at play behind the scene. So Apple actually invested millions of dollars over tens of years to make this technology work. They finally acquired it from another company actually. So the idea is that, companies which have good technology also become target for bigger companies to be acquired by. And therefore, again, this arms race for machine learning is going on. Over to you.
Okay. Sure. So next we have email spam filtering. Right. This is the most common example for the machine learning. Right. So whenever a mail come to your email account, right, we have to classify that mail into spam or ham. Right. So this is also a machine learning example. Right. So we can implement the machine learning if there is a mail, right, and we have to classify that email, right, either it is spam or not, right. So we can implement the machine learning in email spam filtering also, right. So there are so many fields where we can use the machine learning, right. So there are a lot of examples where we can use the machine learning. Okay, so let's next move type of the machine learning. Right. So what are the type of the machine learning? Okay. So there are major two type of machine learning, and that we will cover in this course. Right. First one is supervised, and second one is unsupervised. Right. So what is supervised and what is unsupervised? Right. In supervised, we have given input and output. Right. In supervised column, we have given input and output. Okay. For example, suppose uh, if if we have to classify, uh, there is a patient, right, and we have to classify uh, whether he is cancer or not. So suppose we have a patient, right, and we have to classify whether he has a cancer or not, he has a cancer or not, right. So and and we have given some data, right. Suppose we have given age, and we have given, suppose, blood group, right, and we have given gender, right. So we have given some features, right. We can say these are the features, right. On the base of we are going to make prediction, right. So this is feature, and we have also given the target value, right. So suppose there is a customer, and whose age is 23, right, and blood group, suppose A, right, and gender is male, and we have given the target value, right. uh, Target value, here we have yes or no, right, yes or no. Okay. So suppose uh, we have given yes, right. So here suppose we have 500 examples, right, or 500 samples, right, and we have to train a model, right, to make the prediction on the future data, right. So whenever a patient is uh, uh, so whenever a patient is come, and we have to classify that he has a cancer or not, right. So here we have input data, right, and we have target value, right. So whenever we have input data and target, so whenever we have input data, or we can say features, we can say features, input data and target, right. Target means we can say labels, right, or we can say output, right. So here we have two classes, suppose yes or no, right. So whenever we have given input data and targets, in that case we can say we have supervised machine learning problem, right. So in supervised machine learning problem, we have input data and we have target values, right. So in supervised, right, in supervised there are two parts. First one is classification and second one is regression, right. If we talk about classification, right, so in classification we have to classify the data into some predefined classes, right. Okay. So this example of this example for classification, this example for classification. Okay. So whenever we have to classify the data into some predefined classes, we can say we have classification problem, right. Similarly, suppose if we want to classify the data into diabetes or not, right. If we have a patient and we have to classify he has diabetes or not, right. So this is a problem from classification. If you talk about regression, in that case we have to predict a single value. If you talk about predicting a sales, if you talk about predicting a sales, if you talk about predicting sales, right. So in sales we have target, we have target value, we have target value as a single value, right? We can say single value. So in the case of regression, we don't have any classes. We don't need to classify the data. Okay. If we take one more example, we can say stock price prediction. Stock price prediction. Right. This example for regression. Right. So because here we need to predict the price. Right. We are not going to classify the data. Right. So in the case of regression, right, we try to predict a single value. Right. So suppose if we want to make a prediction for a salary, right? Suppose we have some data, and in this data we have location, and we have uh, we have age, right? Uh, these are the features we have given, and we have a salary data, suppose, and we have also suppose experience, right? So these three are the features, and this is a target variable, right? So here target variable is salary, right? So on the basis of location, age, and experience, we have to make a prediction for a salary, right? Suppose we have some samples here. Suppose location is X, right, and age is 34, and experience is 3.4, and salary is 5K, suppose. Okay, and next row we have location is Y, age is suppose 23, experience is suppose 4.5, right, and salary is suppose 7K, right? So here we have lot of data, right? Here we have lot of data, but if you want to make a prediction on salary, we have given suppose location is Z, and age is 36, and experience suppose here we have 5.6, right? And we uh, we have to make a prediction for the salary, right? So here would be a single value, right? Here would be a single value, right? So this is example for regression, right? Not classification. In classification, we have to classify the data into some predefined classes, and regression we have to predict a single value, right? For example, in this case, we have to predict a salary on the basis of location, on the basis of age and experience, right? So these are the features we have, and we have to make a prediction here, salary. So whenever we have to predict a single value, we can say we have a regression problem, right? Or whenever we have to predict a class or label, right? In that case, we can say we have a classification problem, right? So whenever we are going to classify a data into some predefined class, we can say we have a classification problem. Or in case of regression, we can say we have to predict a single value, right? Or the single value might be a float, right? If we suppose this is our data, right? This is our data, and we have a size feature, right? And we have to predict a price, right? So here we are going to predict a price, right? So here price is a single value, right? It's not a class. Okay. So we can say we are going to solve a regression problem. In short, we can say this is a classification problem. Right? Here we are going to classify some data points, right? And this is a regression problem, okay? Because here we are going to predict a number, right? A single number we can say, right? And that could be float, right? Or sometime integer. So this is the difference between classification and regression. Right? So there are many applications in machine learning where we implement the classification and regression. So in simple word, we can say in the case of classification, we have to classify the data, right, into some predefined classes, right? Or in case of regression, we can say we have to predict a single value, right? Or this single value could be a float, right? So we can say if we want to make a prediction for sales or salary or for stock price prediction, right? So there are many cases in which we can implement the regression problem. Okay, so this was about supervise. Okay. So in supervise, we have two categories, right? In supervise, we have two categories. First one is classification and second one is regression. In classification, we have to classify the data, or in regression, we have to predict a single value. So this is a difference between the classification and regression. I hope you are getting my point. And next we have unsupervised.
Yes. Any questions, guys, at this point in time? We'd like to take questions. Okay, one of the question is, does deep learning fall into unsupervised learning category?
No, we can apply the both. We can implement the supervised and unsupervised with the help of deep learning. Right? We have algorithm, right, for both categories. So we can solve the supervised and unsupervised problem with the deep learning also. I hope you got my point. Any other question, guys? Okay. No more question? Okay. Next, we can see the...
There is another question. The question is, are we stating that in classification it is yes or no, and in regression it may be maybe or maybe not?
In classification, there might be a class like yes or no, right? True or false, right? Or even we can say there might be numbers like 0 class, 1 class, 2 class, right? So in short, we can say in classification, we have to classify the data, right, into some predefined classes. Or in case of regression, we have to predict a single value. Right? If I talk about, we have to make a prediction for a stock. Right? We want to make a prediction for a stock, right? In that case, we have to predict a single value, right? There is no class, right? So there is in regression, we don't have any classes. Right? We have to predict a single value in case of regression, right? So in classification, we have to classify the data into some classes, right? Or these classes could be yes or no, true or false, or 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So there might be two or more than classes, right? There might be two or more than classes, but in case of regression, we have to predict a single value only. Right? If we are going to predict, suppose sales for a company, right? So we will predict a single value, right? So this is a difference between the classification and regression.
Okay. A related question is, how do we decide it is regression? Where data should belong? How, yeah.
Okay. So on the basis of problem we have, we can decide this problem is a classification on or regression problem. Right? Suppose if we want to predict a salary, right? We have a data, right? And we want to predict a salary, right? So this problem belongs to a regression, right? Because here we are going to predict a salary, right? And salary is a single number only, right? And that could be any number, right? So on the basis of data, uh, we can uh, we can understand the problem, right? Either it's a classification problem or regression problem, right? So in classification, simply you can check if we have classes, right? If we have labels, we can say we have classification problem. Right? If we are going to predict a single number, or in that case, we can say we have a regression problem. So on the basis of data set we have, right, we can say either there is a classification problem or regression problem. Okay. Hope you got my point. Any other question? Okay. Similarly, we can see the unsupervised. In unsupervised, we have only features. Right? We don't have label or classes. Right? In unsupervised, we have to create a group, or we can say clusters, right? So whatever features we have, on the basis of that feature, we have to create cluster. Right? A cluster means we can say group. Right? So we have to cluster our data set on the basis of features only, right? Because in this case we have only features, right? Not classes. So we can say in the case of unsupervised, we have only features, right? On the basis of feature, we have to create the groups, right? Or we can say clusters, right? So those samples, right? The samples that are similar on the basis of some features, right? We have to put them in a cluster. Right. So here we are. Here we have to create clusters. Right. So in clustering, we have to create the clusters. Right. We don't have target values, or we can say labels here. Right. We have only features. Right. So we have a features. On the basis of these features, we have to create the clusters. right? So this is a clustering problem, right? So in machine learning, there are major two types. First one is supervised, and second one is unsupervised. In supervised, we have two categories also. First one is classification, and second one is regression. Right? In classification, we have to classify the data into some predefined classes. Right? In regression, we have to predict a single value, right? And in the and in the case of unsupervised, we have only features, right? On the basis of features, we have to create the clusters, right? So here we don't have labels or target values. So this was about types of machine learning.
There is a question now.
Okay.
Question is, it means that if we have to differentiate between fruits and vegetables, we use classification.
Right.
But if we need to differentiate between different types of fruits, in that case, we will use regression.
Different type of fruit. Okay. Yeah. If we don't know the type of fruit we have, right? We have only the fruits, right? But we don't know how many type of fruit we have, right? In that case, we can say we have clustering problem. Like if we know the classes, right? If we know the type of fruit, right? We can say we have classification problem, right? So if we have fruit, right, or if we have the classes, right, if we have the target values, right, we can say we have classification problem, right? And if we have only input data or features, right, we don't have any class, right? In that case, we can say we have clustering problem, right? And if there is any case, right, if we want to make a prediction for a single number, right, in that case we can say we have a regression problem. Right. So on the basis of data set we have, we can say either this problem is a supervised or unsupervised, right? Or we can say this problem is a classification or regression.
So another thing is, the question is, does deep learning fall into unsupervised learning category?
No. We can use the supervised and unsupervised both, right, with the help of deep learning. Right? So with the help of deep learning, we can solve both kind of problems. We can solve the supervised problem, right, as well as we can solve the unsupervised problem with the help of deep learning. Right? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning, but difference is that deep learning is based on neural network. Right? All the algorithms that comes in deep learning, right, is based on neural network, right? So with the help of deep learning, we can solve both kind of problem. Right? We can solve the supervised problem, right, or we can solve the unsupervised problem too. Right? So don't get confused, right, with the deep learning.
Okay. Another question is reinforcement learning third type of ML algorithm.
Right. This reinforcement learning is a third type of ML.
Okay. And another question is, what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning?
Okay. There is a very basic difference we can say, because deep learning is also a part of machine learning, right? If you go on the site of TensorFlow, right? So here uh, you will see TensorFlow is a application for machine learning problems, right? So we can say a deep learning is a subset of machine learning. We can say this is a suppose neural network, right? And this neural network is a part of deep learning. This neural network is a part of deep learning, right? And this deep learning is a part of machine learning, right? This deep learning is a part of machine learning.
विनीत ये ना सर्च कर लेते हैं
Okay.
गूगल इमेजेस में ये हाँ
You can see the difference here. Machine learning difference, deep learning. So here we can see the difference. That in the case of machine learning, we have to extract the features manually, right? Or in the case of deep learning, we have to just feed the data, right? And the algorithm will automatically extract the features. We don't need to extract the features manually in the case of deep learning, right? So in the case of machine learning, we have to extract the features, right? And then we have to pass this features into a machine learning algorithm, right? Or in the case of deep learning, we can see that here we don't need to extract the features, right? So we can say deep learning is a subset of machine learning, right? Because with the help of deep learning, we are also trying to make a prediction, right? So we can say with the help of deep learning, we are going to make a prediction, right? We can see this one. This one is same. So here from this image you can get some idea, right? So this is our input, right? If you pass this input image, right, first we have to extract the features, right? And then we can pass this feature into a algorithm, right? And then we will get a output here, right? But in case of deep learning, we have to just pass the image, right? And rest of the work will be done by deep learning, right? So we don't need to here extract the features, right, manually. So this is a difference between the machine learning and deep learning. Right. So we can say in deep learning, there are some advanced algorithm, right, and which are based on neural network, right? And in machine learning, right, most of the algorithms based on some statics, right, or math formula. But in case of deep learning, right, all the algorithms are based on uh, neural network, right? So this is the difference between the machine learning and deep learning.
विनीत एक बार ये ब्लू वाला प्लीज, ब्लू सर्कल वाला ऊपर नहीं बीच में, हाँ ये वाला प्लीज, ये भी एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए.
Okay, so here you can see the definition here, right? The deep learning is a subset of machine learning, right? And composed of algorithms that permit software to train itself to perform tasks, right, like speech or image recognition, right, with the help of neural network. Right? So we can say with the help of deep learning, if we want to work on the speech and image, right, we can use the deep learning. Right? So if we have large amount of data, right, we can go with the deep learning. Right? If we have large amount of data and we go with the machine learning, right, then it will take too much time, right? So that's why we don't use the machine learning with the large amount of data, right? So the machine learning and deep learning, right, the purpose of the both are same, right, to make a prediction. Difference is that, right, all the algorithms are in deep learning are based on neural network, right? So here we can deal large amount of data, right, and we can also deal the different type of data. If we go with machine learning, right, and we have image data, right, so there might be some less accuracy. Right? If you go with machine learning and we have image data, right, so there might be a less accuracy, right? But if you go with the same data, right, with deep learning, right, so there might be a good result. Right? So whenever we have data in image format or voice or text, right, or large amount of data, we have to go with deep learning. Right? And one more difference is here, we can use the GPU. Right? GPU is the graphic card. Right? With the help of GPU, we can make faster our training time. Right? So we can make faster our training, right, with the help of GPU. Right? And GPU only support by the deep learning. Right? We cannot use the GPU with the machine learning. Right? Machine learning using scikit-learn. Right? So there is advantage, right, if we have large amount of data, right, and we have GPU card, right, then it will take less amount of time. Right? So this is the difference between the machine learning and deep learning. Right? So in today world we have large amount of data, right, and to deal with such kind of data we have to go with deep learning.
So we have another question. This question is, in classification, under supervised learning, data is classified into predefined classes.
Yeah.
Again, in unsupervised learning, data is clustered into predefined groups.
No.
So, what's the difference between them?
No. Uh, in the case of clustering, first we have to find the number of clusters. Right. In the case of clustering, there are a few techniques that on the basis of which we have to find the number of cluster. Right. So whatever value for the cluster we pass, right? So our algorithm create the clusters, right? So we have to pass a number for a clusters, right? So how many cluster we want, we have to pass a number, right? So first we have to find the number of clusters. So in uh, clustering problem, we don't have any information about the number of classes. Right? So there are few techniques in clustering, right, on the basis of which we can find the number of cluster, right? Uh, Number of cluster that might be in our data set. Okay. So there. So the main difference is in the case of classification, we have predefined classes, right? Or in the case of clustering, that we have to first find the number of cluster, and then we use the clustering algorithm. I hope you got my point. Any other question, guys? So simply we can say, if we have classification problem, if we have classification problem, uh, we would have some predefined classes, and then these classes would be yes or no, right? True or false. These classes would be true or false, right? Or there might be more than two classes, like class 0, class 1, class 2, class 2, class 3, and so on, right? So there might be more than two classes, but in the case of clustering, in the case of clustering, we have only features, right? On the basis of these features, we have to create the clusters, right? Or we can say first we have to find the optimal value for the cluster, right? And then we use clustering algorithm, right? So this is our data set. Suppose this is our data set and we have only features. Suppose this is feature x1, this is feature x2, this is feature x3, this is feature x4, right? So we have only features, on the basis of these feature we have to classify, right? Sorry, we have to create the clusters. On the basis of these feature we have to create the clusters. And but in classification problem we have some uh, predefined classes, right? So we have known in advance, right, how many classes we have in our data set. And this was the answer for the question.
Okay, so guys, this is the new format for the class. We will every day when we begin now, we will summarize what we did last time. When we are ending the session, we can again quickly summarize what we are ending. So we will do that right now. So maybe we can quickly go through what we covered today and then close the session for today.
Okay. So first we have discussed about what is machine learning, right? So in few words we can say machine learning is about making prediction, right? Prediction on unseen or untrained data, right? So whenever we are trying to make a prediction, right, we have to use the machine learning. And then we have seen the applications, right, where we can use the machine learning, right? So there are lot of fields, right, where we can use the machine learning, right? And then the most important part we have seen that is a type of MLs, right? So we have seen supervised and then unsupervised. Right. In supervised, we have two categories. First one is classification, and second one is regression. Right. So, in the case of classification, we have to classify the data into some predefined classes, right? And these classes could be two or more than two, right? If you talk about regression, we have to make predict a single value. Right? We have to predict a single value. Right? Suppose if we want to make a prediction for a sales, right? For a sale for a company, right? In that case, we have to predict a single value for the sales. Okay, and next we have seen the unsupervised. Right? In the case of uh, unsupervised, we have given only features, right? And in unsupervised, we have to perform only clustering, right? And in the case of clustering, we have some features, right? On the basis of these features, we have to create clusters, right? So in the case of unsupervised, we have only features, right? No target values. Okay, so this was the short intro about the types of ML.
So guys, if you have any questions, you can raise them now. Otherwise, we'd like to end the session for today.
So whatever question you have, you can ask me.
Can we get the presentation file? Yes, we'll share. So whatever we have done today, sure, we'll share that one. Okay. Okay, guys, we'll end the session for today. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, sir.